Coming up next on BG24 News.
When they said no, they meant no. Find out how Bowling Green is thwarting construction for a Verizon Wireless cell phone tower.
The BGSU Faculty Association will soon vote on its contract with the BGSU administration. We'll tell you the FA's initial thoughts on the proposed contract.
Plus, one of BGSU's most unique features is Oak Grove Cemetery. We'll take a closer look at the history of the resting place.
And a look at your Black Swamp weather forecast and BG24 sports. Welcome to your campus and community connection.
Wood County's live local news starts right now. This is BG24 News, live at 5:30.
Hello everyone, I'm Madeline Fenning.
And I'm Parminder Bunga. Thanks for joining us. Campus and community officials are furious with Verizon Wireless for starting construction on a cell phone tower that the city no longer wants.
Officials found a simple yet effective way to undermine construction. They're refusing to send electricity to the construction site. It's located near the Bowling Green exit on I-75. The city can limit power to the site because it operates its own municipal power system. Both campus and community officials say a tower would detract from the entrance to the city and school. Verizon Wireless says the contract was signed under a different city and school administration. The cell phone carrier says it is willing to address and work with their concerns.
In campus news, BGSU College Democrats brought State Senator Nina Turner to BGSU yesterday. Senator Turner urged student and community voters to support Bowling Green City Schools and other levies on the ballot this spring. Turner is the minority whip in the Ohio Senate. Turner explained that above all other issues, education is her top priority.
To me, it is the number one. We have to have an educated citizenry, and we have to invest in our young people. That is a moral obligation. That's a moral imperative. And just as I believe the vote is the great equalizer, education is right there. Because you can take a child and educate them, and then they can create their own path and live their own American dream and make this world a better place. And because it is a knowledge-based society, all young people have to have an education.
Turner also teaches women's studies and African American history at Cuyahoga Community College.
The way in which people communicate is much different than it was years ago. Social networks help users communicate at the push of a button, but with that convenience comes the risk of sharing too much with too many, something the BGSU community is learning firsthand. Reporter Lucas Dahl joins me now with information about BG Confessions. Lucas?
Thanks, Madeline. College students nowadays are accustomed to social networks they grew up using, terms like MySpace, Xanga, and Facebook. But a new Twitter account is taking some social network users by surprise. Bowling Green State University has had its fair share of Twitter and social media accounts, though the newest fad seems to be BG Confessions, some saying an account that's a very vulgar online documentation of student thoughts and experiences.
Well, I think it's really entertaining, actually, to read the BG Confessions.
Professor Emily Asnick said she understands why people like to share thoughts and ideas, but need to consciously consider what may happen when they do so.
It's those thoughts and ideas that we share online have so, the ramifications are widespread, more so than they ever were before, because you used to be able to say whatever you want, and only the people to whom you were speaking would hear it. Now anybody can access that when it's online.
Are accounts like this all fun and games, or could they be psychologically detrimental to an individual if they are being called out on a social media site such as this?
The ones that are posting like people's names on them, they could be kind of detrimental, because I know that some of them do have people's full names on there.
So people are just gonna abuse it, and it's not that's just what's going to happen. It's just for fun, really, and it's kind of pointless at the end of the day, and it doesn't matter at all. It's kind of stupid.
Though some students consider them silly tweets, Professor Asnick believes social media users should be mindful of their online presence.
People need to be more mindful of their responsibilities as a communicator, because having the freedom to say what you want comes with a responsibility as well. And part of being an ethical communicator is thinking about the harm that you do to others when you communicate, and I think sometimes that people forget about that.
On its Twitter page, BG Confessions reminds users that it is not affiliated with the university.
Very interesting story. Now, BG Confessions, it is anonymous, correct?
Yes.
So even though it's an anonymous account, could you still be, looked down upon by an employer for retweeting the page or even simply following it in general?
Emily was definitely making that point that social media sites like Facebook and Twitter are really transcending into a professional environment, that employers are now looking into what their employees are doing on these internet sites. So yes, your employers are seeing who you may follow on Twitter, what you like on Facebook, and you really have to be mindful of the things you do on these sites, because a site such as BG Confessions could take a tweet, retweet it, and now you no longer have control of that, and it's out there forever. So Emily's really just pushing that point of being mindful of what you're doing on these media sites.
Interesting. Well, I'll make sure to, watch myself a little bit more closely when I get on Twitter next time. Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you.
With all of this talk of tweets, we want to know what you think about BG Confessions. Do you think BG Confessions should publish tweets with full names? Tweet us your answer at BG24 News. If your answer is creative enough, we might feature it at the end of the show. So get tweeting.
After years of negotiating, hundreds of BGSU faculty members and the BGSU administration are nearing an agreement. The BGSU Faculty Association met last night to address questions about their tentative contract with the administration. The FA must vote on the contract as a whole before it can be signed. Some faculty members are happy about the retroactive raises, but others are frustrated that there is no mention of saving 100 faculty members whose jobs are going to be cut.
All right, now Dale, give it to me straight. Is it going to stay relatively warm for the future, or am I just going to have to anticipate more snow? What can I expect?
Well, fortunately, temperatures will be beginning to increase throughout the next 5 days. They're currently in the mid-50s, so it's very nice outside. People can start bringing out their shorts and t-shirts and not have to worry about wearing huge, thick jackets every time they go outside. Stay tuned later, and I'll make sure to tell you more about how the weather will be throughout the next 5 days.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Dale. Coming up next.
How did BGSU end up with a cemetery in the middle of it? Reporter Christina Hepner has a special look at the history of Oak Grove Cemetery.
And the community will have a new way to keep cool this summer. Reporter Megan Gallagher speaks with a city official about a new local pool. Stay with us. Students who take classes in Olds Camp Hall are only feet away from a cemetery. Reporter Christina Hepner explains how Oak Grove Cemetery ended up in the middle of BGSU.
Oak Grove Cemetery lies between East Mary and Ridge Street on Bowling Green's campus. Students are constantly walking around it to get to many of the buildings. The real question is, what came first, the cemetery or Bowling Green's campus? Oak Grove Cemetery was first established in 1873. The university was later established in 1910. The university did not originally intend to invade Oak Grove Cemetery.
They started building buildings around campus, and as it grew, it got closer and closer to the cemetery.
Oak Grove used to be open, but is now surrounded by a black fence because of the students.
Instead of using the streets, they would cut through the graves, and they actually had great paths right through people's graves.
The fence does not keep the cemetery from going unnoticed by students and is even used by some of the classes on campus.
When I first came to Bowling Green, I was like, oh, that's a little strange. It's kind of a unique factor. I've taken some classes where we go on tours and kind of look at all the headstones, and it's a nice place to walk around, as weird as that is.
Oak Grove Cemetery is open for anyone to enjoy. Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Christina Hepner.
Families are still laying loved ones to rest at Oak Grove Cemetery. There are still 575 graves to be sold.
In community news tonight, a hearing is set for the suspect involved in a stabbing this weekend. Police say Braden stabbed a man in the abdomen and back multiple times. The stabbing happened early Sunday morning outside of Taco Bell on East Wooster Street. Police charged Braden with assault. The victim, Rory Sheeks, is in the hospital in serious condition.
Wood County is the second county in the state to receive a new 911 system. The system is called Next Generation. Police say it will speed up communication between the sheriff's office and other rescue departments. The Next Generation makes use of the internet instead of phone calls. This will make it much easier for dispatchers to transfer different amounts of data like security camera footage and text messages.
The government wants you to be prepared in the event of a disaster. Reporter Jacqueline Gideon tells us what you need to know about emergency preparedness.
Having an emergency plan and a few supplies could save your life, or just make your life during an emergency a lot more comfortable. Local coordinator Tracy Bush says you should have a plan for all types of disasters.
If you have that mindset, it will never happen in Northwest Ohio, it'll never happen in Bowling Green, it'll never happen anywhere, you're setting yourself up to fail.
Bush says your emergency kit should be easy to carry. You'll need to take it with you if you evacuate. You should have a 3-day supply of food, water, and clothing, and pack a first aid kit, medication, and a can opener. Preparing to stay inside your home is just as important. This is called sheltering in place, and it is vital to create a barrier between yourself and any potential threat outside. Common threats include blizzards or power outages, but there could be a chemical spill or a dangerous person. Leslie Katie has a year's supply of food and water in her home.
A lot of times people look at how much food you have to store in a year and they go, oh, there's no way I could do that. But if you do it one can at a time, you can do food storage.
Katie also puts chocolate in her emergency kits. She says this is because there is no disaster you can get through without chocolate. Jacqueline Gideon reporting.
To find out more information about emergency preparedness, go to ready.gov.
Coming up next.
With summer approaching, many students are on the hunt for jobs. Find out how some students found work today.
And will the weekend bring us summer temperatures? Your Black Swamp weather forecast is after the break. Stay with us.
Now, Wood County's live local forecast with BG24 Black Swamp weather.
Good evening, Wood County. I am Dale Summers here with your Black Swamp weather forecast. Current temperatures are in the mid-50 degrees and it is very sunny outside, so people don't have to worry about big, thick jackets when they start to head out. Winds are coming in from the south-southwest at 9 miles per hour, so that's not blowing in too strongly. Tonight, temperatures will be dropping down to the low 30s and we will continue to see clear skies. Winds will be coming in from the west at 7 miles per hour, and at their strongest, they can gust up to 10 miles per hour. And humidity is at a relatively high 56%. Tomorrow, temperatures will get up to the low 50s and it will be sunny again. Winds will be coming in from the east at 8 miles per hour, gusting up to 15 miles per hour at their strongest. The chance of precipitation will drop down to 0% and it will stay at 0% throughout the entire day. So tomorrow night, as temperatures drop down to the low 30s and we see some cloud coverage come in and humidity staying about in the low 50s, we still don't have to worry about any rain, which is definitely nice because I think everyone's done with rain. Looking at our temperatures, we can see in the Toledo area that temperatures are in the mid to low 50s. As one heads up further north towards the northern lakefront, temperatures drop down to the mid 40s. As one also heads down to Cleveland, temperatures are also around the mid 40 degrees. Looking at the U.S. fronts, we can see that there is a cold front that starts in Colorado and continues up through Canada. It starts into a stationary front as it heads west towards a cold front that is passing through California. There is no precipitation over the Toledo area. There's a little bit of rain down by Delaware and Newark. Most of the rain that is happening in the United States is in different areas. If one looks over, towards Arkansas, there's a lot of rain that is heading towards the eastern coast, so by Virginia and North and South Carolina. It is a very heavy rainfall. As one heads further south and towards Florida, they're experiencing a storm alert. So definitely not the time of the year to be vacationing down in Florida. There's also some medium rainfall up and through Washington and then heading down through California. So a lot of rain in different areas, but hopefully no rain over by us. Canada is experiencing a little bit of snow. Looking at our 5-day forecast, we can see that temperatures will be increasing to a high of 62 on Monday. Unfortunately, we'll start to see the rain again. It'll just be some light rain showers, though nothing too much, as temperatures will drop down to about the high 50s on Tuesday.
Wow, looks great.
It does.
I can't believe it.
A sunny Friday. I'm so
know.
excited. No, I think that even if it's not as warm as everyone would like for it to be, I think just the bright blue sky and the sunny day makes everyone feel a lot better.
And I think the warmer temperatures actually make it a little harder to stay inside and study, so I'm not.
Just a little bit, but I'm sure, I don't know, we'll just have to figure it out then.
Yeah,
for
sure. Of course. Speaking of warm weather, Bowling Green has a new way to soak up the sunshine this summer. Reporter Megan Gallagher has details about the city's new pool.
This construction may seem obnoxious, but is making way for a very relaxing summer. After a citywide vote on a levy, the Bowling Green Parks and Recreation Department gave construction the okay to refurbish the city pool in the city park on Conneaut Road. Parks and Recreation Director Michelle Grigor says the change was much needed.
The old pool was 60 years old, and it was, maintained over those 60 years. But after 60 years, anything wears out. The pools generally have a 25-year lifespan, and so it was time to either knock the old pool down and close it or replace it.
After the levy was passed, the Bowling Green Parks and Recreation Department decided to build 4 new bodies of water and also a new facility for the bathrooms.
There's a recreational pool where small children can actually come and play. There's some water spray toys, little buckets that'll dump water on them there. We will also have a lazy river, which we've never had before. Adds kind of the water park theme to the whole facility. We have our lap lane and diving well, and then we've got a slide pool.
These new additions will make the pool the most unique out of all other recreation pools in the area, and this, according to one resident, is exciting.
I can't wait for it to open. I just hope it's open on time. Drove by today and I was, we've got 2 months, I guess, till the beginning of the school holidays, so I hope it's finished on time.
Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Megan Gallagher.
The pool is tentatively set to open on June 1st.
The funeral for the BGSU student who died last weekend was today in Bryan, Ohio. The family gathered privately for graveside services. Brown's father found him dead in his off-campus apartment Sunday morning on University Lane.
Some students looking for jobs attended a tutor job fair at the library today. The Learning Commons offered its 2nd annual job fair this afternoon. Students interested in toured the facilities, spoke with current tutors, and asked questions about the job. Tutors work with students in group and individual settings. The Learning Commons hires 100 to 150 tutors each year. And now Thomas James joins us for a look at BG24 Sports. Thomas?
Thanks, Parminder. Coming up next, a new record was set by a Falcon softball player on Tuesday night. Also, 2 gymnasts are at regionals this weekend. All that and more when we return. Stay with us.
It's un-Falcon believable coverage that you won't get anywhere else. This is BG24 Sports.
Welcome to BG24 Sports. I'm Thomas James. BGSU softball traveled to Michigan on Tuesday for a doubleheader with Detroit Mercy. The Falcons swept the Titans, winning the first game 12-3 and the second 9-1. The non-conference sweep improves BG's overall record to 15-11, and the Falcons are now on a 3-game win streak. Along with the wins, senior Paige Berger made it into the record books. Berger's 2 home runs during this series pushed her career total to 33, breaking the Bowling Green all-time home run record, originally held by Haley Weimer. Berger and the rest of the Falcons are back in action tomorrow as they host Akron for the doubleheader. First pitch is at 1 p.m. Over to gymnastics. 2 Falcons qualified for the NCAA regionals this weekend. Alyssa Nocella will be competing on the balance beam, and Megan Harrington qualified to compete in the all-around. Regionals are held at the University of Alabama. The Falcons are expected to perform in front of a crowd of at least 13,000. The top 2 competitors at regionals will advance to the NCAA Nationals, held in Los Angeles. Best of luck to the Falcons. It has been announced that Mark Shook has been named Interim Director of Athletics. He will replace Greg Christopher, who announced in March that he is leaving to take over the Athletic Director role at Xavier University. Shook is currently the Associate Athletics Director for Compliance and Student Athlete Services at BGSU, and will begin his new role on May 3rd. BGSU football announced that they are scheduled to face Buffalo on November 29th to conclude the 2013 season in the Black Friday Clash. The game will be played at Ralph Wilson Stadium, home of the Buffalo Bills. That's all for BG24 Sports. I'm Thomas James. We'll be right back.
Dance Marathon is a BGSU organization that works year-long to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network in Toledo. Their hours of hard work culminate this weekend in the annual Dance Marathon weekend. Last month, BG24 News announced a special partnership with Dance Marathon. BG24 will be bringing you hourly video updates at the marathon from Saturday morning at 10 a.m. till Sunday at 6 p.m. Tonight, we have a little preview for you. Some Dance Marathon volunteers bike instead of dance. Reporter Christina Heffner is at the bike send-off to explain. Christina?
Thanks, Parminder. 140 bikers are leaving for their 180-mile bike ride from Cincinnati to Bowling Green. The steering chair of Bikes for Tykes, Heather Miller, joins me now. Hi, Heather. Thank you for joining us. So what have you guys done to prepare for Bikes for Tykes?
Well, this year we decided to do something a little bit different in order to prepare our riders as well as make sure that their bikes were capable of making it all 180 miles. We actually had a spring ride just a couple weeks ago. We went on the Slippery Elm Trail located in Bowling Green. It goes from Bowling Green to North Baltimore, 13 miles there, 13 miles back, total of 26. Out of our 140 bikers, we had 105 show up, so great turnout for the first time we've ever had this spring ride, and they really enjoyed themselves. They kind of got a glimpse of it. Was a little bit colder outside, so they figured out what to wear and just kind of got a feel for their bike, and we were really, really excited that this was something new that we decided to do to help train them, and it was overall successful.
And how do you feel leaving today for the bike ride?
Well, this will be my third year of biking. I started off my sophomore year as a biker. Last year I was on the core committee, and this year I got the position as steering chair. And it's not really nervous, it's just more anxious. I'm extremely excited. I know it's going to go by so fast, so I really just don't want to let a moment pass me by, and it's going to be an amazing time.
Okay, thank you so much, Heather.
Yep, thank you.
We will be checking in with the Bikes for Tykes on Sunday back at Dance Marathon. Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Christina Hebner.
Thank you so much, Christina. Remember to like our Facebook page at facebook.com/BG24News for full access to our hourly video updates. And now, let's go to Dale Summers for a look at our Dance Marathon weather forecast. Dale.
Thank you, Parminder. Temperatures will be rising throughout the next 5 days. Tomorrow they'll be in the low 50s, but they'll get up to about 62 as the high, so that's relatively nice. I think everyone's looking forward to that. On Tuesday, temperatures will taper off a little bit because we'll be experiencing some light rainfall.
For Parminder Bunga, Dale Summers, and Thomas James, I'm Madeline Fenning. Thanks for watching.